Man, I gained 10 pounds eating the red and the green M&Ms, bro. I gained 10 pounds so quick. I'll chop it up today. How you brothers been for the week, man?
Oh, we've been good, man. We've been
good.
Yeah. We can't ignore the ratings. I mean, this light skin thing is working for me and Derik.
I heard it's more market. Where do we start?
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Let's Chop It Up. Please follow us and like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Please ring that bell for the notifications. Make all comments, and we love to reply. We take the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we love you all for checking us out another week. My brothers from another mother, what's going on this week with your man Derik? How you feeling, brother? You look amped up, brother.
Man, I'm all right because them damn kids is out the house, man.
Oh,
you know what I mean? First day of school.
Big...
What's today? and the little one already getting in trouble. Damn, man.
On the first day?
On the first day.
I
separated from the other kids and talked to the teachers, man. They're badass, man. I'm telling you. You know what it is? My kids are real. They smart. They real smart, but they don't really take to the fuckery too tough. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess the other two kids was saying something and he's like, yo, chill out. I'm trying to listen. And you know, the teacher always get the second one, not the first. You know what I mean? So yeah, so he got in trouble with that, man. Plus that for laughing too loud and carrying on. And I said, man, come on, you gotta pick a struggle, man. You can't be getting in trouble with the teacher and the other people because you telling them what to do, man. You're stupid. So, but you know, he's all right, man. They good, man. And I'm just glad to be here with you fellas, man. On Let's Chop It Up. You know what I mean? So let's go.
What's up, Rodney? How was your week, brother?
Guys, I'm going to reveal some personal stuff today on the show. This week was a little bit rough for me. I got through it. I had my first colonoscopy this week. I'm going to urge men to definitely get it done. I put it off long enough. I should have got it 2 years ago. The process is not very flattering. I'm not going to brag about it. But the thing is, it was a good feeling leaving there knowing that I was okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, we gotta drop the machismo thing, and we gotta definitely get it done when it's time to get it done. But now I'm going to explain the experience. You got to clean yourself out. I had to take some stuff to clean myself out. And basically, I saw Nathan's hot dog come out of me that I ate when I was 17. You know, that was one. And I saw some Infamil come out too from when I was a baby. But that process, it wasn't as bad as I thought. And then you go to the hospital in the morning, they prep you. People were very nice to you because they know what you're about to go through. And I was a little nervous when I got into the room because there was a technician that actually, you know, he had to move me on my side and put me in a position and everything. And he was kind of rough. So I said to him, dude, are you doing the procedure? Because you're a little rough, you know. But I got through it, and I do recommend that everybody get it done like they're supposed to, because like I said, it was a great feeling knowing that I was good to go. Yeah. And if there is something on, you know, unfortunately, if something is there and they catch it early, they can take care of it and it not be so much of a disaster if people, you know, they let it go too long. So brothers, y'all go out there and y'all get yourselves checked out. I think you're supposed to do it at the first time at the age of 50 and then every 5 years after that if you're good. All right.
Yeah. I did it early in my early 40s, and I just recently did it last year. The thing, you wake up like your butt feel like you're a whore. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I didn't want to get that graphic. You know what I'm saying? But I know that I figured you would come up and clean up behind me, D, and you'll get it out there.
Hey, I don't want to clean up after you had that shit stuff now. But it's good that, you know, I think Nene from Housewife of Atlanta, I think her husband just passed away today, I think of cancer, I believe.
Wow.
So it's like, I'm glad that you really did it, man, because we need you here, brother, for a long time.
Absolutely. We can't, we got to stop neglecting our health. Our health is very prevalent right now, you know. So brothers, definitely get yourselves checked out and do what you got to do, you know.
Yeah, and brothers, that you wake up, you're asleep. So Like you see me and Rob, we men. So you wake up, you go to sleep, and they take care. Like Rodney said, they go up there with a camera. But the night before is really tasking. Like Rodney said, you have to get a lot of stuff and all that.
You don't remember the process. You don't remember it. You know what I'm saying? So don't think that you're awake while it's going on. You don't have no memory of it at all. They put you to sleep. Actually, you're going to get some of the best sleep you probably ever had.
Yeah. But Rodney's right. They make you to the side and bend you crazy.
They put you in a fetal position.
Yeah, and your butt stick out, and then you wake up with a gel in your ass. That's the only thing. That's the worst part of the season, bro.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'm blind.
You're one hell of a friend. Thanks a lot.
Listen, like you lay it, you put it up there. I'm gonna bring it on for the team.
Yeah.
Rod, you're not gonna bring him back. You're not gonna when he get off the road, he going.
Yeah, he's gonna go. It's gonna go. It's like an avalanche. You can't stop it. You can do it.
Hey, you set up the snowball, baby, and I just keep rolling and make it bigger.
Kelvin, but I'll tell you, Rod, I went through it because my grandfather passed away of cancer, so they wanted to screen me early. So I think I was like 30 or something really ridiculously early. And the funny part about it is at the end, I remember they put you like in a room with a bunch of people because you can't leave. They got to get the gas or whatever air out of your system. So they used to have to get everybody. They there's a certain time they won't let you go because literally your system has just been completely opened up. So so people just sitting in this room and then just
you basically. I didn't have that problem.
I was by myself. Yeah, I was lucky.
Oh
no, they had us like
information.
They had like in a fart room.
Too much information. Yeah. I remember going as well, man. It was a crazy thing. It was just like I just remember going to sleep and then just waking up. I didn't even realize. I don't even remember going to sleep. As a matter of fact, I just remember like looking. I closed my eyes and then I was in a completely different room, man. You know, so. I was really.
So y'all saying I had low budget insurance? That's what y'all saying?
Yeah. Yo, Kelvin had a colonoscopy using his car insurance.
Yo,
I ain't supposed to use your medical insurance for that, Kelvin.
Oh shit, that's hilarious. Man.
You're like, wait a minute, y'all had a doctor perform your work?
The guy didn't have a hanger, right, Kelvin?
Yo, listen. One time, I'm gonna get to Kelvin, but one time I had hemorrhoids, man, and this doctor I had was 6'5" or 4. So his hands were like this big, and he had to go up in my ass. Holy Jesus Christ! I was talking about violating, feeling like I was raped.
Yo, we off to a great spot. I'm
just saying.
Yeah, okay. You know what we're gonna do? Yeah. I'm gonna take your job for a second, D, and let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Kelvin, how was your week?
Right. The good news, you're all right though, Rod.
I'm good, man. Go ahead, Kelvin. Tell us about you, baby.
Oh man. All right. So let me just say this. I have my little pet peeve.
Go back. What did she say?
Shauna.
She had the same experience as me. That's what happened. She woke up and went to sleep. She went to sleep and woke up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
She said, yeah.
That's sorry. Y'all trying to disrespect me like y'all went to the same facility. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, they gave Kelvin some NyQuil.
And you know what else they use? They use fireworks to wake them up.
Oh God, I'm crying. That was funny.
Yo, they performed Kelvin's surgery in the men's bathroom in the public park.
See, this is why I can't share nothing with y'all. Y'all don't uplift the brother.
Yeah, just do it without putting you to sleep.
Oh no, I ain't doing that shit. Ain't doing that shit.
And I was alone and not in the fart room.
Y'all know y'all wrong.
Kelvin, what you remember the doctor's name? Like he was really a doctor?
I've been trying to Google him lately, but I can't find him.
The number what you gonna do if you find him, man?
His doctor name was Dr. Dre.
Yo, y'all know y'all wrong. Y'all know y'all found.
Oh man. Go ahead. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead, man.
All right, look, I had this little pet peeve, okay, and everybody's experiencing, I'm sure. All right, and I know y'all gonna say I'm old school because I still pay credit card bills by calling. Right, I don't do it online. Yeah, I still call. I like to talk to the operator. I like to call somebody and talk to them You know what I'm saying? That's the only bill. Other stuff I'm still doing online. And so this is my thing, and I don't understand with customer service. Why is it a problem to ask a question and then get off the phone? They will not allow you to do that. You know, I got to verify who I am, of course, right? I got to give the last 4, and then I got to give my address, and then I got to give my zip and all this stuff like that. All I simply wanted to know was, do I have a certain amount of points? And the person's like, yeah, you got like 5,000 points. I'm like, all right, thank you. Oh, by the way, thank you for being a great member for the last 15 years. I'm like, I appreciate it. Is there anything else I could do for you? I'm like, no, that's fine. Let me, I'll talk to you a little later. Thank you so much for your help. Oh, one more thing. Would you like an additional card and I'm like, literally at one point, it got to the point where I thought they was being funny. I thought I was being pranked because the person would not let me off the phone. The person must have told I was on the phone for about 10 minutes with some frivolous, promotional stuff and all that. And is it foul if somebody puts you in a position where you have to hang up on somebody? Because I do not like people hanging up on me. There's 2 things I won't take. 3 things. Don't slap me, don't spit on me, and do not hang up on me. Those are 3 things that I do not play, but I'm almost forced to. I'm almost put in a position because customer service today, across the board, they will not let you off the phone. And so I'm like, excuse me, I'll be honest with you, I'm working, I have to get ready to go. Would you mind taking a short survey? I'm like, this.
Yeah. They have to
they have to upsell.
That's right. Upsell you, downsell you, cross-sell you, all kinds of stuff.
There's 2 things I got to tell you, Kelvin, right? Number 1.
They ask all those questions in order to verify your identity. Yeah, there are many scams out there. Yeah.
They first of all, those conversations are being recorded, so they have to keep up a certain amount of professionalism in customer service.
Shows on there your credit card number and the rotary.
Yeah.
Okay. So
now the other thing is
disrespect me, right? That's
the other reason she wanted to stay on the phone with you so long.
Let my homeboy Tone answer those questions.
She wanted to stay on the phone with you so long, Kelvin, because you're the only one still calling in. So that's why you're the only reason she has a job. So she said, I'm going to stay on the phone with this guy because I haven't got a phone call in 9 years.
That's right. That's right.
All right. This is the perfect time to make my announcement. I'm making my announcement tonight, everybody, for those who don't know. I'm leaving the show, going to my new podcast with all white people called Let's Rationally Discuss Things. All right. I'm letting you know. All right. I didn't want you to find out like this.
Oh, that was funny, man.
Yeah.
But no, Kelvin, seriously, why only people over 65 call in, bro?
Correct.
Because I just
you're too young to be doing that.
Listen, I like to talk to people. I like those interpersonal communication skills. You know what I'm saying? Oh, so y'all go online. Listen, I was gonna learn about the computer, but I didn't think it was gonna last. I thought it was just a trend.
But you know what? But Kelvin, customer service is going out the door because most of that shit is overseas nowadays. But they're trying to. But Sean was right. They try to upsell you, but you need to question yourself of why you calling it for real.
Is there anybody else that got to get calls about your social security number has been compromised? Y'all get that?
Yeah, we get all that bullshit.
Those be scams. Those
I know. I get that every day.
I can't remember the last time I paid a bill like that, Kelvin. Everything is just automatic deducted now.
And Kelvin, guess what? They tell you your points on the computer.
Correct. I can tell you my points on my cards right now. Kelvin, I got even better news for you. If you go into your account, they should be able to give you your credit score as well. It should be right there. There's a lot of things. You know what I'm going to do, Kelvin? I'm going to set an appointment with you. Me and you're going to sit down. I'm going to catch you up. Okay?
First of all, no, I'm just joking about this. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this for your entertainment and purpose.
But no, Kelvin, they lucky they caught you because you're a nice guy. I would have just hung up. I'm not.
Well, D, you wouldn't have been calling. You wouldn't have been calling.
That's the number, Rodney.
See, Rod, when he try to be nice, then you got to come in and intercede. You know what I'm saying? You know you have.
No, I don't be liking that. I don't be liking that. You give it to him like you're supposed to give it to him. But you got to stop calling, Kelvin. Go on the phone and be able to go in. You can get all the answers yourself. Your points. You can redeem your points on your phone. You can do all of that.
Yo, Brad,
He's still looking for the bucket at the toll booth.
Yeah.
Shout out to what was said. There's a new subscriber that's joined us tonight, man.
Oh, that's what's up. What's up? What's happening, brother? Facts.
Welcome,
yeah,
man.
absolutely.
Thanks
for joining us.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, those warranty, the vehicle warranties are the thing.
They're annoying.
Now.
They're annoying.
Oh,
they're
They never had a vehicle, but they still telling you got a warranty.
Man.
Yeah.
Think they don't.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
But
that's a good one.
So what's up with you, D? Talk to us.
Yeah,
my week was cool, man. We just did a first giveaway for the book bag drive that we used to do this week. And I got a little pet peeve of myself. Is like, how do people? I was about to say us, but how do people argue over free stuff, free food? They get mad that they can't wait in line like we. And if anybody knows how we do our stuff when we give away, we set up for 1,000 people. We might get 200-300. We have so much food left over. People,
you're provoking me, aren't you? I
just don't understand why black
people. You're trying to provoke
me. No, I'm not. The devil's not going to use me. I'm trying to be nice about it. I was going to make some jokes about it. I'm going to be nice. Because some people might be watching that see this. So they are. It's free. Just stand in line. It's free. It's not going to go nowhere. We got 5 more hours of this. Just stand in line. That's all I'm going to say.
Or just leave.
Yeah.
Just leave. Yeah.
Thank you. Shauna was there. She said so. Shauna works and she helps teach kids entrepreneurship by making jewelry and stuff like that. She was there. She's at all of our events, and she know how our people do. It is sad, but I love it still. I'm never giving up the fight. I'm there for the long haul.
Brother. I hear that. I gave up about 10 years ago, but I'm glad my man hanging in there.
I'm never gonna leave. I love our people, man.
Hey, somebody's got to do it.
Entitlement.
But they said they show a character of a person if you give them something free. They show how they act. So I don't know why they act like that when it's free.
Free in leadership will show your character.
Show your character. It will
put you in a position of leadership, and your character will be shown.
Definitely. True that. All right, gentlemen, let's get into it, man. First on the chopping block tonight, the last plane has carried Americans from Afghanistan to parts as long as U.S. war concludes. Thoughts?
Wow. What happened to No Man Left Behind, right?
Yeah, I mean they left some Americans behind.
Well, I know that's what I'm saying. What happened to No Man Left Behind?
This is what I'll say, and I'm kind of close to it because my nephew's over there, so it's different for me now. I have to admit, but I'll say this: the press secretary said they have any American that registered when they went over to Afghanistan, which you're supposed to do. You're supposed to register. They said they have been sending emails and alerts for the last 6 months for people to get out of Afghanistan, and that was before the Taliban took over. And so, according to this administration, people had ample enough time to start transitioning out of Afghanistan before the Taliban took over. Obviously, they said that there's probably a couple hundred Americans left over there. I'm one of these people that I'd rather be too early than too late. I don't know the circumstances outside of that, but I would have done everything, especially as an American, when you were free to go. If I had to pay for a commercial flight to get out of there, I just had to do it because I think the Biden administration, I have to give them credit. This just can't go on forever. People are still saying we should leave, 2,500, 3,500 troops over there. But if not now, when? I mean, you just cannot, to me, implement Western civilization ideology over in the Middle East. Like the people saying, the Taliban are saying, you're in our country. Get out. If you remember back in the day, when we first had even leading right up to 9/11, they were like, you're going to deal with terrorism as long as you are in our land. Yeah. And so at a certain point, I think you just may have to, have an end, and it's not going to be popular with anybody. And America always wants to be the world's police, but it does seem like we only are policing people when we have an interest over where they're at. So I don't blame the administration. I think it's time to go. And I think we lost a lot of American GIs. And the question is, for what?
I agree, Kelvin. And, we have to look at it and say, well, what was gained? And I think that obviously in a situation like that, under these circumstances, there were winners and there were losers, but those were individual winners and losers. It was not like us as a country won anything. You know what I mean? Anything that really benefited us all, and as far as us losing lives, that was going to happen. They talking about leaving 2,500 or 3,500. How many people are you going to leave? Once you've told them that you have every intention of leaving, right? They were going to always press the issue at the end. They're going to hurry and get you out just for the political maneuver, just to say, hey, listen, we kicked you out. You didn't leave on your own accord on that 20th anniversary of 9/11 like you said you were going to do. No, you got out when we told you to go out, and we kicked some ass on the way out, right? And that's what it was all about, you know. And basically, you know, there was, you know, Americans got left behind, and you know, and anybody who's sitting there, unfortunately, we lost 13 people, you know, 13 soldiers, and then I don't know how many of the couple hundred that are left over, how many of them are contractors or civilians or whatever. But like you said, they had time to get out, and unfortunately, that's just where it is, you know. That's just where we are. So, you know, I hats off to you know, I think hats off to Biden for doing it, you know, for just sticking to the guns at this point, because we can't keep this thing going on, you know. And I want to read something also from Secretary of State Anthony Blinken. He said, going forward, any engagement with the Taliban-led government in Kabul will be driven by one thing: our vital national interests. All right, and that's where it's at right now. If it's not important to us as a country, if we can't get behind it as a country, we don't need to be there, and that's how we need to be moving forward. It's time for America to deal with its own issues and stop trying to be the police of the world. You know,
I feel that.
Yep.
I feel that.
No, they took care of it.
They took care of that segment. Yeah. You're right, but I hope everybody gets home safe. The people that are all left over there, you know, from the brothers, let's chop it up. You know, hope that one day will be some kind of peace on this world. Like when people ask you what do you wish for, I just wish it was really peace. Like we could all just get like Rodney King said, we all could get
right.
Nice, you know. But
I don't want the Afghans to stop watching Let's Chop It Up, though. You know,
yeah, man. Hey, listen, man. Word up. Shout out to my Muslim brothers, man. Word up.
What's up?
Let's see. Representative Madison Cawthorn falsely suggests elections are rigged. Say there will be bloodshed if the system continues on this path. The BS it started again. So go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. The thing is, how long are these right wingers going to keep saying this without producing any evidence of the election was rigged? I mean, another thing, it just kills me how people today are still following this. Like, we were supposedly see Trump take back office in August. Now we're in September, still didn't happen. Like, they just keep spewing this propaganda, and people just keep buying it. Now, you know, as a politician to rally people for violence, that's really sick. That's like, but I'm gonna say another way. I think that Trump is behind this. This guy's a big Trumpster.
Yep.
I think this is like Trump's ace in the hole. So like when this thing comes down on him, I think he's going to use his power to like feel like I'm going to get people to riot. I'm going to get people to attack if you don't leave me alone. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I really think that's the direction that he's going. I think he's using this as an ace card, get people that don't know better to rally behind and believe in this conspiracy theory that no evidence of it has been produced. And let's face the facts. If those Republicans had evidence to prove that election was rigged, they would have been dying to get it out because it would have destroyed the Democrats. And they still haven't released it yet. They're just walking around here on propaganda. It's insane to me.
Yeah.
You know, when I used to see reports that say that America is like 25th in the world in education and, you know, like cracking last in mathematics and all stuff like that, I understand it now. I mean, there's really, I don't know if success has just made us lazy where we just don't think or have rationale or we defy logic, but I mean, it makes no sense. And again, that's the problem is people are so taken by this man and his ideology that whatever he said, they just were determined to capitulate. It's so funny. I saw a headline today talking about Lindsey Graham is afraid of what Biden might do. Lindsey Graham signed off on every single thing that he said or did. You know what I'm saying? Trump went across overseas and said that he didn't believe our FBI. He didn't believe the CIA. He didn't believe our intelligence groups. He didn't believe but now Lindsey Graham is saying he's afraid of what Biden might do. There's just something wrong. And really people just walking around with blinders on. This whole thing about the election being rigged, first of all, even the term rigged was first introduced by Trump when he was talking about his election against Hillary. He was saying it's rigged before it goes in. he's saying they're trying to rig the election. So he wanted to hedge his bet just in case he lost. And I'm saying people keep following that ridiculous, nonsensical ideology. And so as a result, I think it's much about nothing. What bothers me the most is all of the money that was spent on this could have been doing something, progressive or positive. You know what I mean? We got people that are still not, businesses that are still closed from the pandemic and stuff. And we're spending money on this, which really is just erroneous information from the onset.
Yeah, but I think it was Shauna that just said something that's true. It's about Trump raising money. Basically, you say that the thing is, if the election is rigged, then why are you going to try to run again? Because you got no chance to win it. The other thing is too, when you vote, his name was on the ballot with all those other Republicans. Some of those Republicans won, but he lost. So show us where it was rigged. But it's just this facade that they're painting. So people can continue to donate money to them, so they can line their pockets. And there's never really intentions of him rerunning again, because I really don't believe he's going to run again.
And they've been running this tripe anyway. Every election, it seems like it's been rigged for the last I don't know how many cycles now. You know what I mean? That's something that's almost like a recurring theme that comes up. It's the voting machines are messed up, or whatever it is this year or this cycle. You know what I mean? It was absentee ballots. People, the people who are dead are voting. It was always something, So they use it exactly as a way to drum up the base and to get some money going, So
I want to go back to Jamie. Can you bring up Simone's comment? And I think this is Simone Lewis comment. If you see it, can you bring it back?
Oh, the USA is worried about human rights.
Yeah. So it's not right out of country, because the thing is, like, this guy's in North Carolina, the right Hawthorne. I think he's a rep out of North Carolina, I believe. And you got stuff like healthcare in his own state where people can't get good healthcare. People like those kind of things. Like, you should worry about. We throwing money at the stupidest things that we can, and you got people that need healthcare. If anything, we know in this year was healthcare was the biggest thing we needed in the last 2 years, right? And we got throwing our money at fake stuff about the election stuff. Yeah, Tim. What up, Tim? What up, Tiger? Yeah.
Pillow guy had comments last week where he said he would produce proof, but he had nothing. Yeah,
they're never gonna produce the proof.
There is no proof.
What happened to just taking that L? That's what I don't understand. Sometimes you lose.
You got to understand something, right? Like, just like D just said, like, it's something important like healthcare, right? That's not what they're focused on, because they know to drum up their base, they have to tap into their base's hate. That's what they're doing. They're tapping into their hate, because a lot of people in their base vote with their hate. They don't vote with their logic. They don't vote with common sense. We got most people in their party that don't have a higher education than basically high school. You know what I'm saying? So they're preying on their lack of intelligence. And then they get fed a certain amount of information from certain news outlets that give them what they want to hear. And that's where this all comes from.
Right. Exactly. And I'm not going to feed into it. I mean, to me, it's just nonsensical. And it was from the beginning. That night he declared he won.
Yep. Read it, Derek.
People of privilege don't like taking L's. You know why they don't like taking L's? Because they don't have to. They have privilege.
That's true.
Right.
They don't want to. They get their ass moving now. And then, everything with let's just keep it a buck. The white people right now is fucked up. They losing because they realize they're about to be they're gonna be the minority soon in this country. They hate that part. They gerrymandering all these states, all the damn election, all the fake stuff that Texas right now, they do over there with the whole abortion stuff. White women ain't producing babies as fast. They are taking L's, and they know they remember white people playing way down the road. Way down the road. So they're looking like, oh shit, 20 years from now, little Billy is gonna be dating fucking Shaquana because like they don't make any babies or they want to be here at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like not at all, but it's gonna be a limited number. It's the bullshit they put out. They take the fear tactics of a lot of shit they keep doing. Sorry, go ahead, Kelvin. Oh, Kelvin.
I'm just laughing because it always got to be in the name. It always got to be a Q in the name somewhere.
We unique people, man.
That's Shaquana.
Man. Yeah, we unique people, man. We have beautiful names back in the motherland, man. Everything black. I'm pro black. Everything beautiful. Anyway, what else is on the chopping block tonight, gentlemen? TikTok bans the milk crate challenge because of injuries. I know how much we had so much fun over the last 2 weeks over this milk crate challenge. I even seen somebody get fellatio on a milk crate challenge. I don't know if you guys saw that one. but they banned all that stuff now.
Okay, we don't need to talk about that.
All right, the fellatio.
No.
I'm not gonna talk about the fellatio.
Well, I think it's good that they banned it. Yeah, people are getting hurt, and then you got to realize young people are very influenced by social media, so people are going to follow suit. And like you said, a lot of people are going to get hurt. A lot of people are going to get some teeth knocked out, heads cracked. You know what I'm saying? And we don't need to have people racing to the hospital with that nonsense. So I'm glad they banned it.
The sad thing was, Rod, it looked like people that was older that was really doing it. That's so bad. I mean, you need to have a job somewhere. You out there walking on some crates, and they're gonna fall. And the question is, if you do it, what happens? What do you get?
That's what I think that some people were betting money. Like if you did it, they collected money or whatever. I saw one where a cop did it. Cop was in uniform and did it and fell.
I saw 2 cops actually now.
Yeah, I guess he was.
One got hurt. One got hurt. I saw that one you talking about, right? The one that started limping off afterwards.
Now, here's the thing, right? Imagine being an on-duty officer, do the crate challenge, fall and hurt yourself. Is the job going to count that as a line of duty injury? That's the question I want to know. They're going to be like, they shouldn't, because you had no business doing the crate challenge,
right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? People know whole healthcare will participate in that stupidity. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's the true shit. That's the most truthful shit. And they fall and lose that side tooth, and then they really fucked up.
No, the side tooth is already out.
It's already out. Yeah, it's already out.
If you're doing the crate challenge, chances are you're missing the side tooth anyway.
Yeah, now you're gonna lose your front. You're gonna lose your front.
You went in missing one.
The crate challenge.
Shout out to my niece Maya, man. Shout out to her, man. Checking in tonight. Young people checking out tonight, man. Young people checking it out tonight. Yeah. So this one, man, is gonna parents react to an image of a black baby doll at Selena's high school. Jamie, can you play this video for us, man? So people can understand. Jamie there?
Oh, Sammy.
Josh, I spoke with some residents and parents who say the images they came across are appalling, but ultimately aren't surprised that this is happening.
Even as a joke, racism is racism.
Controversy is erupting at Selena's high school, and now an investigation, all stemming from videos and posts circulating this weekend depicting students posing with a black baby doll named Shaniqua on an Instagram account. One video shows people stomping on the doll. Other pictures put the doll in sexually suggestive situations. That Instagram account has since been deactivated, but it's still causing quite a stir in the community. One Selena's high parent says she isn't surprised by these posts.
These kids feel comfortable enough to do this on campus at a football game where there's parents, where there's staff members and other children. And you're going to tell me out of all the staff being around and even parents, nobody saw this go on? Nobody saw that there was something wrong with this?
2 members of the African American Advisory Committee for the school district says these posts are just a symptom of a larger issue permeating the culture at some schools, ones that need to be addressed, including a lack of diversity education.
Some of the things in those pictures and that was with that doll are stereotypes, direct stereotypes of African Americans.
How we can address this is through education. A lot of these kids don't know the insensitivity of their actions because they don't know the historical. They don't know the historical facts based on that.
The Salinas Union High School District says they're looking into these posts, stating the administration promptly initiated a full investigation which will include identifying those who are directly involved. Parents say this isn't the first time something like this has happened at Salinas High, saying change can only start in the home.
You got to have these awkward conversations. Yes, it's tough to have this conversation with your babies. I get it. But you have to have these conversations to avoid them putting themselves in situations like this. Yes. Because if you don't have it, it's going to continue to happen.
Gentlemen, I'm going to let y'all go first.
I see this as future racists on their way up. That's what I see.
A Republican Party racist.
Yeah, well, these young kids, they're creating a culture for racism at such a young age because that nonsense is taught. You know what I mean? So everybody's just following suit. But basically, they're on their way up. The young racists on their way up.
Yeah, and Sean said they should be suspended, man, from school.
I look at it like this.
The school looks like it's got money, so I don't know if too many people are gonna be suspended.
I look at it like this. there's that old adage that you don't have to like me, but you got to respect me. I think, again, we have to be in the same position that the gay community is in, that the Jewish community is, where whether you like the person or not, you know better than to cross that line. And what happens is people cross the line all the time because there's rarely any repercussion to crossing the line against our community. And that's why people have got to feel it. And usually they have to feel it economically. It's got to cost you something. This idea that the kids need to be educated and stuff like that. These kids are educated on gay rights. These kids are educated on Jewish rights. These kids are educated on everything else. These are the same kids that stand up if somebody is bullying and all those different things like that. At the end of the day, it's time out for all to try to educate people. What it is let people know there's some repercussions. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's just it's man, it's the law of the jungle out there, man. That's all I see it as, you know. Used to be repercussions. See, I was coming up, you know, we had issues like that. We had some stuff going on out here, man, that would make your head, you know, spin around, but at times. But you know, it's bullying is what it is. You know, it's just bullying. It's basic bullying. And I always say it's one thing that a bully understands, and that's, you know, smacking their head, you know. So unfortunately,
to me, it's beyond bullying. Brad said it best. They staying on code. I always talk about this. Racist people stay on code. They don't mix words. None of that shit. They stay on code. They know what their agenda is. They try to make a child feel little and small, young at age. Black folks, when they start this in high school, they staying on code. They start this young, so you always feel inferior now. Now, like you said, Derek, you punch them in the fucking mouth, and then it's like, oh shit, I'm not racist no more.
But it's funny how that happens, right? Kills it quick.
You know, but it like, you know, and things parents can't try to do, like, you know, you try to organize, you know, go to the superintendent, go to the chancellors, go, and they look like that was California, go to the state, but they're breeding them, and they know what they're doing. We see what's going on in California now with the elections going on. We see what these racist bastards are doing now to try to do with the governor over there and everything. They're just staying on code. They don't mix words, never ever.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's a learned behavior. This is exactly that, Sean. It's passed on, and it's passed on. You got older people in the family, older brothers, older father figures, or whoever that got parents, and they're learning it, and they're learning it from the internet right now. You know what I mean? Because, you know, that's, you got to look at that too. You know, we have a lot of messages that are being spread and reinforced, and, you know, and it wasn't before. They just had to, you know, keep it in their circle of friends, or now they just getting, like, you can go to a whole chat room with thousands of people, everybody feeling the same way you feel. It's empowering, you know. It's false empowerment, if you ask me, because then you still got to go out there and live among people. Yeah. But you know, we'll see how it works out for them.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Security monitor in the school. Since we're on the topic of school, security monitor in the school arrested for punching a 7th grader in the shoulder. Jamie, can you play that video for us, please?
The recording starts in the middle of some sort of altercation between Ruffin, who's 6'4", 220 pounds, and the student, we're told, is a 7th grader. Ruffin seen shoving the child at first, then the boy says something we can't hear in the video, and Ruffin continues yelling.
Do what you want to bring it on, bring them on. I ain't scared of none of them. Bring them on.
Then this.
You want to go in the car?
Ruffin was arrested by Miami-Dade Schools police and charged with child abuse with no great bodily harm and battery. He posted bond, and last night he was out of jail. Here he is walking out with his shirt over his head. A spokesperson for the district sent us a statement that reads in part, Miami-Dade County Public Schools is deeply troubled and saddened by the actions of this individual, as they are not representative of our caring and supportive workforce.
See, this is where the community needs to step in. Like, seriously. First of all, we know because he looked like he had black Air Force Ones on. Anybody with black Air Force Ones are not all them. Giving people fair warning. They will fight on sight. Don't care what age you are, how women or man. Black Air Force Ones always start beef. However, this man, I know. I'm just giving an example. If Rodney, Mitchell, and Derik child calls home, I'm not using myself. It says a grown ass man punched me in the chest. Oh, and Casper's gonna have your back. Oh, there you go. Oh, come on, son. Let him live, man. Let him live.
Oh, he's dressed. He got his clothes on.
You don't know around here, brother. Yeah. I got PTSD. You don't even understand.
It's all right. Let him live, man. Let him be free, man. He's in his own home.
Yeah, but for me, what are your thoughts, guys? I just know how the scenario went down. If your two guys, I'm not even putting myself in a situation.
I remember when I was in junior high school, right? I remember a gym teacher grabbed one of my classmates like by the ears and like picked him up and was screaming at him in his face. And his father came up there and effed the gym teacher up. I mean, put smoke on that gym teacher.
You say fuck, Ron. You say fuck. You know.
No. I'm trying to be nice today.
Right.
I'm leaving all that shit to you, D.
I just said shit though.
Yeah, this said shit. But like as a father, knowing that somebody did that to your kid, your 7-year-old kid, a grown man, I mean, it would be very hard for me to restrain myself from going up there doing that. You know what I'm saying? But well, he's going to have a lot of trouble getting jobs because what he's been charged with, that stays on your record. He's going to always have issues getting a job. When they pull up his thing, they're going to see he had a child abuse arrest. So I don't know. He I don't know. Somebody might get to him for putting their hands on that kid. We don't know.
You actually where I'm going with it. See, when I went to can you guys hear me?
Your Wi-Fi's chopping.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. It's a deluge, just raining, and my Wi-Fi is a little suspect. Go ahead, Derik. Let me see if I pick that up. Go ahead, Derik.
Well, I tell you what, man. You know, in my situation, I've always talked to my kids about just conflict resolution, just trying to keep a level head. I've been blessed with some pretty level-headed kids. All right. So if I find that somebody called me, all right, about and they touch one of my kids, I know for a fact, and I know most parents probably feel like that. Oh, little Johnny wouldn't. No, I know for a fact my kids didn't do anything to nobody. You know what I mean? They didn't do anything to start that.
That's on the adult. If it's a kid-on-kid fight, that's different. That's
no. I'm talking about an adult. I'm talking about an adult. My kids.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's no reason for you as an adult to ever touch my kids. You gotta have to touch me now, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm serious. It's gonna be a real issue, and how we need to handle it just needs to be handled that way. I'm not gonna say what I would, what I might do or wouldn't do out here. I won't incriminate myself. You know what I'm saying? If something does happen, but I would just say that I don't know if that boy has a father in his life or something like that. But it's time for other men to check other men, especially around our kids. You know what I mean? So nah. Just cut that out. I can't even get into that. That brings me to a boil on another level, man. For real. You can't hit someone's child like that and get away with it. No, and they would not. I trust they would be no getting away with that. Please believe it. So he gets whatever he got coming to him, man. I'm serious. From course, it's more from the community.
You know what? And I hope you guys can hear me. This happened when I was in school. Notice they didn't give the background of this person. What some of these schools do, and I know my school did this in Amityville, they would hire. I remember one guy was a substitute teacher. The next week I see him working security at the mall. Some of these people that they put in the schools to be hall monitors and work there are not credentialed. They have no college. They have no background in education or dealing with kids. What they do is sometimes they bring in somebody just like a body. In other words, he came at that boy like they was in the street.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's trying to provoke and bring you. I'm not scared of nobody, stuff like that. He's acting like a child.
Right.
That is not an educator. And we have to stop putting people around children who are not supposed to be in lives of children. That's just the reality of it. So you can see that's why they didn't say, they're saying we don't support or endorse this. Notice they didn't say what his background was, because this person is just a glorified hall monitor, which is in today's standards just doing security at the school. And that's why I think you had that problem. Until you alleviate that, you're gonna probably have more situations like this.
Yeah, and like the thing is, like, I know how many background checks and how many certifications and certificate programs we got to go into just to work with kids. I've been doing it 22 years. So for this guy to just walk in, you're right. Some of these places hire people just to be a body. Right. This guy, you could tell, probably was a punk ass bitch in his own neighborhood, and now he could be around these kids. He was a punk in school, and now he could punk all these little kids. Like that, he needs to get hands with them. Like, my song, "Try Jesus, Don't Try Me." That's my favorite song, man. But it's sad that I hope Shorty's okay, and I hope he has a father or uncle that go see him a little later on in life.
Yeah,
see the old
He does. And I'm gonna tell you why I know. Because if you look at the end of the video, the kid wasn't shook at all. First of all, I don't know if anybody.
No, he wasn't.
He was like, yeah, right.
He wasn't. He was a little soldier, man.
The kid didn't even. It didn't even bother him. That's what got me. I was more shook about the kid. The kid was like, all right, wait till 3 o'clock. I'll see you.
Wait till I get a phone in my hand.
Right. You gonna have some problems. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wait till I get to that jack. He gonna be in trouble. I'm calling everybody.
Word up. Yeah, I bet you, and that's Dade County. You know, that Miami, that's a little different down there, man. So,
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
Shorty might have made that phone call. Word. Here we go. Man used eBay to become a millionaire. Shoplifter Jam. You have to play this video.
At this Target on Michigan Road in Carmel, an accused thief walked to the toy aisle, picked up this Lego Star Wars set worth $169, slapped a fake barcode on the box, and checked out for just $20. Police claim that crime was duplicated countless times, spanning nearly a decade at Target and Walmart stores in Carmel, Fishers, Avon, and Plainfield, allowing 35-year-old Ryan Walker to pocket over $1 million. As an example of how the scam would work, prosecutors claim Walker bought this $200 toothbrush at Walmart, but using a fake UPC code, he paid just $24.97, then turned around and sold it on eBay for $122.50, making $97.53 in profit on just that one illegal sale. This affidavit shows Walker's eBay account, called War Electronics, received in excess of $1.1 million since it was created in 2010.
I'm writing mine down, bro. I'm writing it down, bro. It's a hustle right there.
Let me tell you something.
You said paid 24 for 142, made 97, carried one.
Yo, my man was undercutting the competition. Yo, this guy's a genius, man. He's a great businessman.
You know he fucked up.
Yo, we're not condoning stealing. We're not condoning stealing. We're just admiring
the hustle.
His skill. He's a hustler. You know,
Let's Chop It Up. Do not
condone stealing.
Condone stealing any kind of crime.
No, we're not condoning that. But I mean, corporate America rips people off every day. Some of that stuff was overpriced anyway, so he cut it down.
Ingenuity.
But you know what?
The businessman.
You know what? I always thought that the self-checkout was going to present things like that. I'm not a fan of self-checkout. I'm like, all right, obviously I'm still calling the credit card place, so maybe I'm old school, but this is the point.
You said it. You was laid up with me and Rodney. We was about to get on it. I know how y'all do. Well, this one is, I like to go back to the old school where you pulled up to a gas station, somebody pumped your gas, and then I like when somebody actually, checks you out and see when you, because it's too much trust going on. Like, how many bags did you use? In New York, we got to pay for bags, right? How many bags did you use? People be taking bags and talking about they use none and all this different things like that. So all he did was really come up with a system. I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of people that are doing illegal stuff are actually brilliant people. They just won't use it for the positive. Because look at the margins he got. A $200 toothbrush.
Hell of a margin, man. Hell of a margin.
Yo, you got to get a guy some credit. Like I said, I'm not condoning stealing, but I mean, it's pretty smart what he did. And look,
$1 million though.
And look how long he was doing it. Look how long he was doing it.
Yeah,
this is self-checkout is buy one thing, get two things free.
Yeah, what he messed up on, he stayed in the same room. He had a great hustle, right?
I used to go to Verizon and pay my bill at that machine too.
Yo, the thing is, he had a great hustle. What he messed up was he stayed too regional.
Yeah, that's right. You should have spread it out.
You should have spread out. You making all right. Say you got 500,000. You got a plane ticket. You can run the same hustle, drive out to another state, run that hustle there. He kept it too close.
Right. That's the problem in all this, D.
No,
you're not condoning this.
D. He would have created more overhead for himself. This is a businessman you were talking about here.
Yeah, you got a point. So now you got to account for travel.
Now, if you start burning gas, you start getting plane tickets. I mean, think of this guy's mentality. This guy is an entrepreneur, man. This guy's pretty good with his. He knows how to cut costs.
Years, man.
You're right, Rodney. You're right.
Yeah, come on, man. You got to give this guy credit. And as I say, We're not condoning stealing.
No.
We're just giving the guy a little bit of credit, you know.
But let me tell you something. The best thing that can happen to you in life early on, when it comes to stealing, is getting caught. And what happened was my man overplayed it. He over $1 million in profit now, and he's still going. Now you over $1 million in profit, and you don't go legit because you got to learn. And sometimes that's what happens.
That's every hustler. There's one more lick. They always trying to get one more lick. That's what happens to every hustler. They think it's one more. When one more score, one more.
I want to know if he like actually had that company as like a LLC and all of that stuff. Like, was he lined up real legit like that? Probably was. But if he was making like $1 million, he should have went. You're right. He should have went legit. He should have maybe bought some real estate. He should have invested in something. I don't know, but
I guarantee you bought Hennessy. He bought some Hennessy.
Much Hennessy involved.
Have bitches in the club tricking and popping bottle. I guarantee you bought whores, all kind of shit.
Oh,
but
they
no
tracked his location when he's on the phone disputing the credit card charge.
Kelvin, you never should have said that.
No, I'm gonna tell y'all this though. They tell me sometimes it's a long wait because there's other people before me. Some of y'all be on that same credit card line with me. Y'all be on.
No, Kelvin.
No front.
No,
I called the other day. The lady was like, "Hold on a minute, Rodney and D is before you." That's what the lady said.
Yo, they put him on hold, and they said to the other person next to him, "You ain't never gonna believe this. It's Kelvin again. He's calling again. Ain't nobody in front of you. It's just you."
They all at lunch, and who? Don't ring it. Gotta be goddamn.
It's gotta be Kelvin.
Oh my God, that was hilarious. Yeah, we keep rolling into it, man. Okay, there we go.
When you're paying bills, we got questions.
Oh man. Okay. Busta Rhymes rails against COVID-19 wearing no mask. We got a video from Busta Rhymes and Roland Martin responds to Busta Rhymes. So, Jamie, we got two videos. We got Busta Rhymes and Roland Martin. Jamie, can you roll them out for us?
In the last 15 fucking months, COVID could suck a dick. All these little weird-ass government policies and mandates suck a dick. Stop trying to take our civil liberties away. Feels good to be back outside. We outside for real. It's called the God-given right of freedom, right? No human being is supposed to tell you you can't even breathe freely. Fuck your mask. I'm not saying. Some of y'all might feel differently, but fuck your mask.
Busta Rhymes, you are a rapper. You are a successful rapper. You are one of the best rappers, but you don't know shit about science or medicine. Do I respect your rap game? Yes. When I saw you at the NBA All-Star game in Houston and you dapped me up and you said respect OG, same to you. But on this topic, you don't know what the hell you talking about. And so when you stand in front of audiences, stand in front of black people, and say these absolutely ridiculous things, and we're having to deal with people who are dying, who are literally dying, who are in ICUs right now, and you talk about fuck mask?
Thoughts, Busta Rhymes.
Totally irresponsible what Busta Rhymes would do something like that. The thing is that Busta Rhymes doesn't want to wear his mask and keep that to himself. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I think D, you said it on the last show. You said when a guy has a platform as big as his, you have to be careful what you say. You know, because there's a lot of people that admire you and respect you and think that maybe you possibly know more than they do, which sometimes that ain't always the case. But I mean, I think that it was totally irresponsible of Busta Rhymes to do that.
Yeah.
Feel sorry for anyone who's mic after him. Yeah, y'all. I'm not grabbing the mic after him. Yeah, I hear you on that.
And Kelvin, you must have called your friend back up, and she chimed in. I can't believe she said she got a hold of you because you was usually on hold when you on a credit card, calling a credit card. She always trying to call you.
look. This is what it is, and I have to admit, I take rappers like what they are, entertainers, and to be honest with you, I don't really want to hear anybody's politics on the stage. I mean, you're performing, go up there and perform. You know what I mean? Because it's very, very dangerous to start talking about things that you really have no clue about. You see what I'm saying? And so, but Busta Rhymes, whoever his following is, or whoever, supports him or something like that, it is irresponsible. So if you're going to say something of some substance, of some merit that can be helpful, say it. If not, just stay away from it. We do a lot of damage with self-inflicted wounds. It is unnecessary. I don't know what it is. We went through it last month with the other rapper, talking about AIDS and all these different things. It's just, I don't know what it is. There's something about the microphone. It's something about a platform that's very enticing to people. And I always say this, everybody has an opinion. Everybody's entitled to an opinion, but every opinion does not need to be shared. And that's the bottom line. And I think that's what the internet has done. That's what social media has done. It has given everybody a platform. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reality of it.
Hey, everybody gets a say, man. The problem is he thinks he knows what he's talking about.
The thing with Busta, I think sometimes with some of these rappers, when they come in with no mask, because this mask mandates in these states are messing up his money. So he needs to get these shows going, and he needs people to be in there. So I think that's messing up his money, because we know how they live, right? A lot of them don't save up. Busta Rhymes has admitted before that his manager helped him get when he was down $200,000. A lot of child support, stuff like that. I know he has a kid in college. All these things like that. They're like, yo, my money slowed down. Because we have entertainment friends. We know where we're gonna put their business, but their money has slowed down that they can't do these shows anymore. So the mask mandate it's hurting them, and that's what I think. That's the main reason I think he's driving this across, because you can be against the vaccine. I get it, how people feel, and it's going into your body. But this mask thing, come on, man, that was super irresponsible. And I think it's messing with his money. I think that's why he's picking up.
He was and listen, he's talking from the heart, not the head. At the end of the day, you know what I mean. He's a performer. He's used to performing a certain way. He does what he does because he loves it. You know what I mean? And, Busta would be rapping even if he wasn't making $1. You know what I mean? And if you could have put him on the same stage, he would want it the same way he's got it. He's always had it. And he doesn't. You know what I mean? And he told you, he says, listen, he wants to see faces. He wants to go back to how it was. And he's very emotional about it. And I understand that. But, by the same token, very unwise words, So I would like to see, however, Roland Martin take them shades off and get the bass out of it. You know what I mean?
Roland tough.
Because he's tough now, right? Come on, son. No.
But Roland, he always talk like that. Roland always talks like that. That's funny.
I want to see him talk like that with Busta in the face.
But
I bet you don't do it then.
The shutdown definitely affected a lot of entertainers' pockets. You know what I'm saying? Because especially you come out with an album and you can't tour. You lost
and he had a dope ass album.
Dope ass album. Yeah, the thing is, he couldn't tour, so it affected his pocket a lot. And he probably put every ounce of talent he probably had into that album. Because I don't have the album, but I heard it was a banger though.
The banger.
But, he did, man. You've been sitting inside for how long?
Mm-hmm.
You can't do anything, man. You're chomping at the bit, man. You're just in your own head, and unfortunately, that's what comes out.
And then, despite whether people wear masks to a show or not, there are still people that are still not comfortable with going to places that are large with large crowds.
Right.
So that's going to still cause you not to sell out. Sell out the arena. You know what I'm saying? Because you may have a show, but like I said, everybody's not comfortable with still going into crowded places.
But also you got to look at the crowd, and you just mentioned it too. Also look at the crowd he was talking in front of. These are all like-minded people. None of them had any masks on. Masks on. You know what I mean? So he was talking. He was preaching to the choir, the people who already thought, and then someone just filmed it. And the rest of us think they were all crazy. Maybe they were. But,
and Shauna said it could be a super spreader. Look,
No, absolutely, it wasn't no could too. It actually was. We
see what happened when Jim Jones and they did a show. Jim Jones wanted to catch that shit, no mask on.
Yeah,
it is what it is, man. But speaking of more rapper news, god damn, boy, these rappers keep just doing it. I swear to God. Trick Daddy goes viral after discussing his booty activities. Booty pop, booty. So Trick Daddy, for one of them don't know, Trick Daddy said he likes when a woman licks his brown eye, and he loves it. My thing is with Trick Daddy on this part, does his legs be up in the air? As he bent backward, is he in the fetal position like Rodney was the other day?
Wow. Boy, oh boy. Ain't that just like a friend? Kick you when they're down. Oh boy.
Oh man, I can't wait to say that one all night, man.
I don't want to picture none of that stuff, man. Nothing you just talked about, man.
Trick Daddy looks like the booty hole.
Oh.
So if somebody said, give me an image of booty hole, Trick Daddy.
I don't know what would possess Trick Daddy to make a statement like this on what was it on Drink Champs he was talking about?
He sometimes has legs in the air. Wow, he said sometimes legs is in the air.
He said that.
Like a brown eye.
His exact words was, "I get 8 out." Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wasn't talking about going through the drive-through either.
Nah.
Yo, Kelvin gonna throw up. Man, just imagining that, right? I don't know what was his reason for making that statement. You know, I don't know. It was to draw attention or whatever. I mean, if that's his thing, that's his thing, but it doesn't have to be pronounced.
But he said Gabrielle Union made it like good for him because he said she eats Dwayne Wayne's ass out.
But how does she know that?
I think she said it.
Okay, I was gonna say something about Dwayne Wade, but I'm not gonna let the enemy use me. So I'm gonna leave that one alone. But I can see that. I'll just say that. Secondly, as far as Trick Daddy, the last 2 stories have been about rappers who are both over 50 years of age, correct? Certain things you expect somebody to say when they're 20 years old, or they just don't know better. 50-something, you got a half-century worth of life behind it. You know what I'm saying? And you still keep making these statements. I don't want to even fathom anything regarding Trick Daddy in any type of intimate setting, regardless, especially one like that. It just looks ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous. And I'll be honest with you, as a man, why somebody would sit there and even want somebody to know that is very, very curious to me. And so I should probably stop here because I think the enemy is trying to use me. And I'm not gonna let it.
Certain things should be private. I think Trick, I think this is a promotional thing. This makes we all talking. People might go check out what's the Love and Hip Hop Miami. I'm never gonna watch it, but it's some people that might watch it. They never really heard of Trick Daddy. Like some cats probably don't know his music, but now they know him as saying this kind of stuff on Drink Champs.
You know who I blame? You know who I blame?
Who?
I blame you, D. When you talked about that secret deodorant, after that, the flood went with everybody.
I got secret on right now.
That's all floodgate. And after that, that was it. He was like,
shave my head with women's skinnimax. I think it's called skinnimax.
In a room full of men. Right. How was that a topic of conversation?
Thank you.
Thank you, Shada.
No, she has a strong point. There's in a room full of men, there are certain conversations that are probably never going to come up. But he managed to do that in a room. Something's not comfortable about that to me. You know.
Right. Exactly.
Oh man.
Never mind.
Yeah.
No level usually. But we got to go to our sponsors. For those that know, this is time for the brother. Let's chop it up because we all are on our 50s to take our piss break. So, Jamie, please say it to the commercial, brother.
I'm Dawn Kelly, daughter of Joan Kelly, granddaughter of Margaret Ackerman, and founder and CEO of The Nourish Spot. I'm a native New Yorker, born in Harlem and raised in Queens. The community connects to the Nourish Spot through a number of ways, one of which is through my family's 60 years of long-standing roots in this community. My grandfather purchased the first home in our family here in Jamaica. We connect to the community through our employees. We have a number of young black and brown men and women that mask up and glove up to come to work every day so that we can assemble customized fruits and vegetables into what customers want. And so I'm really happy that we have such a great team, and I thank them every day for their dedication and fortitude. COVID-19 has caused a lot of small businesses like myself to close. And so we're very happy that what we've been able to do is pivot. And so instead of allowing individuals to walk into our store, we have set up a QR code, we've set up a curbside pickup, and we have a heavier reliance on our food delivery service at partners. So in my opinion, resilience means, taking challenges by the horn, if you will, and kind of wrangling them and navigating them in order to continue, in our case, serving the community. The Nourish Spot is all in Queens.
Welcome back. And my bladder feels better.
Men of a certain age.
Man, I go to the bathroom 3 times in a night, brother.
Yo, you don't wear your Depends no more?
Nah, man, I had to put them. It's not making my size. I gotta get a little smaller, man. I just started, man.
Because you said it was making your hips look too big, right?
I was waking up with diaper rash and shit. I had to put some A&D ointment down there.
Yeah.
I get rid of that diaper rash and shit, man. Fucking Depends, baby. Man, I hope I never get to that point, man. But anyhow, Miko Lee explains how she feels about Kevin Samuels' content. Jamie, can you play the video for us, please?
Okay, so there's been like a lot of talk about this whole high value men and women thing, right? Nobody wants somebody who's broke, right? You can't pay a bill. You can't go out to eat. You can't travel because you don't have a check coming in. Nobody wants that. But for men who are financially stable, they go towards women who more so bring them peace. That matters to them. Who brings them peace, who's sweet, who's kind, who's funny, who's happy, who's healed within. They don't want bitches. Sorry, they don't want bitches. For me, I've dated guys with money. I've dated guys who are considered rich, right? They've been treated well. But the majority of them, they're not going to spoil you. They're not going to think of you. They're not even going to respect you. It be the guys who might not be considered rich, but have their stuff straight. Who's going to think of you? Who's going to do the sweetest things for you? Treat you well. They bring great energy. They have good character. That's what matters the most. Someone who thinks of me. That's important to me. Someone who thinks of me.
Yeah. I'm no lies detected right there, So, she, I would only add that I don't think there are many men at all who, maybe there are some, who want a troubled woman, you know what I mean? Who want someone who's going to give them trouble. We all want someone who's going to, add to you, be at peace, add to your peace, you know what I mean? So, you got these guys who are very wealthy. They don't need your money. They're not interested in how many letters you got behind or in front of your name, or what you're driving or where you live or what, any of that stuff, because they got it too. It's just about what you can add to, their happiness. What can you bring to their lives? You know what I mean? And can you allow me to be happy in your presence? That kind of thing. So. It's not hard, but I think that what's happening also is somewhere along the line, I think women are running up on men problems, with regard to dating too, they're having a lot of the same problems that men once had or that were traditional men problems in terms of like meeting someone who is up to their par, meeting someone that they like or whatever, meeting other men, So I think there are a lot of things that have changed with dating. I'm glad I'm married and I'm happy, but I wouldn't want to be single right now, you know. So that's all I got to say about that.
I think, Derik, I think it's a timing thing, and the reality of it, what I've seen is this: early on, the good guy that she's describing, people are not interested in that guy when they're young. There is something a lot more exciting about even from as early as junior high school to high school, about the guy that has some edge, the guy that has, I guess, it used to be the bad boy syndrome. There's something appealing about that. So what would happen is, in a lot of communities, especially our communities, the girl would gravitate to that guy, and that guy looked more like her heroes. The guy looked more like the rapper she listened to, the ball player, or whatever. And so she'd run to that guy, who in a lot of cases had a bunch of different girls, and thought he was feeling himself and did whatever. The girl got either in a relationship, got pregnant early, had kids by the guy early, and then turned out this guy's character wasn't sustainable because it wasn't there in the first place. It was a mirage. So then when she now has a couple of kids or whatever, she's by herself, now she matures, and then she wants the guy that does consider her, the guy that did have discipline, that guy that was going to take care of her or be responsible or have a job or a career or something like that. And at that point, sometimes that guy has moved on. And so that's the cycle I've always seen. I've literally seen guys that have treated girls horribly from the onset, and it became a challenge to them. They actually gravitated toward them. And so to me, it's a timing thing. So what she's saying now, she looks like she's probably late 30s, mid to late 30s, saying that now. If you would go back when she was probably in her late teens, early 20s, she probably went after the guy that she no longer is interested in. And that's what I feel like.
Rodney,
yeah. I think she had some valid points, and I do agree with what Derik said. I wouldn't want to be dating at this day and time. But I do agree with what she said about when a guy's kind of got himself together, he's not looking for somebody that's going to come in his life and bring a whole bunch of drama. If you already got the meat, you're looking for the gravy, So any woman that comes along, it's got to be bringing some. Yeah, you're looking for the good gravy too, not that grease gravy. You're looking for somebody. Yeah, you don't want instant gravy. You want the good gravy. So the thing is, anybody you're looking for that's going to come in your life, they have to bring. If you already got the bread, then you're looking for somebody that's going to bring some sort of substance. You know what I'm saying? And you're looking for somebody that's not there because you got bread. Because basically, you see, some women could basically see you as a snatch and grab, and put you in a trick bag. But I like how she also said too that men don't want bitches, right? I think that's 100% true. I remember when I was working, I had a conversation in a room with 4 women, with me and 2 other guys, and women, and they were adamant that no, men want bitches, men want bitches. But it was the most craziest conversation that I ever had. They said no, men want bitches, but none of them didn't have a man. None of them had a relationship. Exactly. So since you know what we want, how come you're single? You know what I'm saying? But I thought she brought up.
Somebody told her wrong.
Somebody, well, probably another chick told her wrong.
Probably, yeah. Almost certainly, yeah.
But it's a lot of misconceptions that women have out there about the way they should be when they're trying to get into a relationship, and they have a lot of bad information about being in a relationship. And that's why I always promote, when you're getting advice about relationships as a woman, you should get it from a man, not from another woman, in my opinion.
So, and some women can't give advice. If the older women that have lived a good life,
if they're giving you advice about the mistakes that they made, then yes, that's great advice.
Yeah.
But to learn how to land a man and how men really think, you should be talking to another man.
Correct. But my thoughts on this is like when a lot of women date for survival. A lot, like people in general. Some people, like, if you're born and struggle in survival mode, that's how your mindset is always going to be. I got to get this to make sure I'm secure in that later on or whatever. And it seemed like she was dating before for survival. And Kelvin said, sometimes she might have been dating for the fun guy. I don't know her backstory, but a lot of when they're young, you date for. I want to get out the hood. I want to get out the projects. I don't want to wear the nicer things. I want to eat steaks at nighttime, stuff like that with Rodney and Derik. That's a long time ago. I'm talking about long time ago. Not now. Big Sam, don't beat me up. Don't beat me up. Long time ago. I'm talking about.
There you go.
It's so that's why I got out of that.
But some women get bad information from the single grandmothers. Yeah.
Well, I think the thing we also have to ask, especially women in our community, where do they get their ideology from regarding men? What are the examples that they get? What is in our community a good man? Because
that's
I think
question.
It's fluid. I think it's a very fluid, subjective answer early on. It depends on where you are in your life. People don't recognize what you need in your 20s is very rarely what you need in your 40s. Things vary like that. The problem is you don't always know what you don't know. That's reality. So go ahead, Rod.
I think you said it, Kelvin. I think that a woman in her 20s probably really doesn't have an idea of what a good man really is in lots of cases. I think they go by what they see on TV, reality shows and stuff like that based on your age. But by the time you're in your late 30s and your 40s, you should have a different view of what a good man is. But sometimes that might be a little bit too late.
Exactly, because what happens is sometimes we veer off the path and it's very, very hard to get back.
Correct.
That's just the reality. You know what I mean? So what we do is we oftentimes give the best of ourselves to the worst of people. And then when they use us up, now you're trying to go and you want to change and go after what you need now. And sometimes that door has closed.
It's closed.
And it may not reopen. That's just the bottom line. To be real with you, there's not as many men in our community as there are women, and that's just a harsh reality.
Correct. I think most of the good. Go ahead, D. I'm sorry.
No. I was going to say I want to go to the comments that people from Brad and Orette. The last two comments. Go, Brad and Orette. Yeah.
Yeah. It says early on. This is a good one. Early on, girls like guys with confidence that comes from the outside. After maturing and also living through headaches, women appreciate guys with inner-driven confidence. Is that true, ladies? And then Norette says, I got mine from my parents. They were happily married until my father died, and I can testify to that myself. My parents and grandparents were all married until their spouse passed. So over here, it's gang dying.
That is true. Them puppies stay together forever, goddamn it. They mate for life. But
that was a time when men were men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't forget that too. But you're right. I think that like at a certain time, like good men, by the time women get in their older stages, a lot of those good men are usually married or they're in a place that they got kind of dogged out. So now they're running through women. They're just picking shoes and here and there because the guy's got himself together. He's got options. He don't have to just settle down. He's not looking for somebody to dog him out again. So he
I feel like a lot of men go through two stages with that. And maybe I'm speaking for myself, but you go through a stage where you're where you get dogged out. You might have got dogged out when you were younger. Then you go through your return to the max stage, and then maybe later on you can settle down a little bit, much later on. I know that was kind of like my thing was kind of like high in my low and my high again, and I kind of settled out. I think that if you get to a certain age, man, I think that you start to make business decisions, with regard to relationships, it's the old saying, you don't throw away a Cadillac because it's got a dent in it. You know what I mean? So maybe yours has a few dents and some bunch of mileage on it, but it still rolls. So, yeah.
When you're a dude that's got yourself together, like in your 40s or whatever, and you've acquired some things and you got yourself, you're not looking for somebody to come along and snatch and grab all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you're going to be more guarded. You're going to be more guarded.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
Exactly. But I thought she made an excellent point. I'm glad she, is trying to inform other people, like, don't make them, because if you get stuck in it, I mean, it's really, really bad. I mean, these guys have a million kids by one woman, use her up, and then be out there dating like they don't have a kid in the world. And they just chilling. He's now responsible for handling everything in her life, and she's with it, and that's a lot to deal with.
I wasn't talking about you, baby. I wasn't talking about you.
Read that out loud so the people can see that listening to us.
You don't read that. Shoot, nah.
Don't say that. Don't read that.
Good one, baby.
That's right. So that's a tell them, Derek. That's a Benz.
Yeah, baby. There you go. Y'all can't expect to get what I got now.
That's a Benz. You tell them you got a Benz.
Good luck out here.
That was funny. Wait. Okay, here we go. Judge upholds a death sentence for Dalen Roof, who killed 9 beautiful black people, black churchgoers in the church in South Carolina a few years back. Thoughts on Dalen Roof, bitch ass?
Well, he should fry like chicken.
Yes.
He should fry like chicken.
Let me pull a lever. I'll be the one.
To be honest with you, you would probably be in a fight of your life because there's a lot of black people that want to pull that lever.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
They just have a lottery for that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Them are right here.
Lottery tickets, man.
But you know what gets me? This is what gets me. You know, this boy sat there. If he'd have walked in the church and opened fire on them people is one thing, as evil as that is. But to sit there through their Bible study and they ingratiated him. And I can just imagine they sat there thinking, okay, there's somebody white in here. We're getting diverse. It's nice to just welcome everybody. And I'm sure they welcomed him in and everything. Sit there and then knew what he was going to do to those people. And now the audacity to act like you're afraid to die. I don't think he deserves to die in the chair. I think they need to let the relatives of those people in that cell and beat the fool out of him for what he did. And that's what it is. And I'm not talking about killing him. I'm talking about just beating the fool out of him. You know what I mean? But you have the audacity to act like
they should put him in the sex. They should put him in the sex dorm, the sex unit, and then see what
I believe that. Let me tell you something. This is my. If you can bring it to somebody like that, then you should be able to take it. That's just the reality. If you can do all that, then that go back to medieval for real. That's just it.
Stone his ass. Go back beyond that. Go biblical on his ass.
I think Stone is too good. I think he need to be raped. He need to really be raped, beat his ass. I'm really for the torture part of it. I'm like,
okay, I don't want to say that publicly, but I understand what you mean.
You know what I want to. You know, like when you drive by Popeyes and you smell that chicken cooking.
Yeah.
I want to drive by the jail and smell his ass cooking. That's what I want.
Yeah, black folks too forgiving. You're right, Sean. We too forgiving.
No, yeah, too forgiving. The thing is, if you gave it to the people in the church, they probably would. Say no. Let's just pray for him or whatever. No, you got to put him where the dudes is real, and they're gonna give him what he need.
No, I'm saying if you're really that evil, and that was nothing less. That was demonic. That was evil. That was right.
Kelvin,
so what you need to do.
You remember what he said why he did it?
What'd you say?
Do you remember what he said for why he did it?
Why?
He wanted to start a race war.
Yeah,
that's why he did it.
Oh,
so it was bigger than just killing those people. He wanted to start
and
a
that's
race.
A historic church too. Historic church called civil rights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. And that brother went to college. Like if people doesn't South Carolina, and I'm not sure if Jamie was at Allen one time. He was at Allen University, which is directly across the street from Minute College when I was there. So that's the sad thing about this brother, man. This brother's like right across the street, and he's frat, so he's a good brother, man. So it's sad, man. Really sad.
Wow.
So. Yeah, man.
Well, I'm in favor of whatever they're gonna do to him. That, as far as repercussion, he deserved it, and I'm glad that they're not gonna appeal that. He needs to take that. I think. Well, I have some other ideas for him that I wouldn't kill him, but I'd let him go for the long run. But it'd be a rough life from here out. But I'm sorry.
I got an idea. Let's cut his eyelids off so he can't get no rest. Can't get no sleep. Let him just die from fatigue.
Word up, man. Like Simone said, I think Jamie can bring up Simone's comment.
Black folks are more forgiving towards everybody else and each other. Why is that? That's a good question.
That's so
it's also a good point.
That's a great
true.
point.
It's very true. Very true.
I don't know, man.
But then pretend he black then and go in.
Yo, that'd be crazy to put blackface on him, right?
That's it. That's right. Go in.
I'm sure he's tried it before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But this time
put him in a cell with just nothing but black people.
Dudes who got 50 years of life. 50 to life.
Let everybody know who he is too. Yeah, he needs to be in Gym Pop. That's right, Sean.
Gym Pop
definitely.
Some Kool-Aid on his lips.
Yeah.
A grand jury indicts police officers and paramedics in the 2019 death of our beautiful young brother Elijah McClain, rest his soul. So these guys are finally getting. They found in the grand jury found them guilty of these charges. I just hope these charges stick. Thoughts on this, gentlemen?
Overdue, long overdue. A drop in a bucket, though, with regard to all that we've gone through, all that Black people have been subjected to psychologically. And I'm not trying to make it about myself, but damn, it hurt me. So I can only imagine what it was like for the young man's family, and what they've been going through, So, what can you say? I'm glad we're on our road towards justice, at least,
Yeah.
So we can hope for a conviction, I assume. So.
The only thing I got to say is let's see how the trial goes.
Yeah,
that's one thing, man.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm saying that with very guarded, tones. You never know, because we've been here before. How many times, So we'll see.
Rod, I got a quick question for you, Rod. Right? On this thing, the police union rep said that he's back in his offices. I believe he said that this young man already had a pre-existing heart condition. He's only 23, pre-existing heart condition, and he was resisting arrest. My thing is, he shouldn't have been under arrest from the beginning, right? And then what does your heart condition have to do with you giving me Narcan? It has no real reason saying I was on drugs. What are your thoughts, Rodney?
Well, that's the police union's job. They've always done that. They've always basically looked at prisoners' health conditions and say, well, that's a contributing factor. It wasn't the police. But the thing is, if they had run into the police that day, you can't prove they wouldn't have been alive the next day. That's how I see it. But that's just narrative. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it with Eric Gardner. They did the same thing. They said basically, oh, it wasn't the cop that killed him. It was his health conditions. But if he didn't have that encounter with the cops that day, he wasn't guaranteed to die that day.
That's crazy. That's wild, because you get 4 bullets in my back. Say, well, damn, he's out from the heart condition, not from them 4 bullets in his back.
No. It's narrative. It's that they have to push that narrative out there to make it seem like it wasn't the police. The unions have to defend the cops.
They're doing their job, right, Rodney?
No matter what they did. You know what I'm saying? They that's their job. They have to come out there and defend it. They have to defend the biggest wrong possible, and they still have to defend it.
But that's what I don't understand in this world. Why would everybody have to be strong and wrong? Like they always say there's only a few bad apples. If I'm the union, these motherfuckers are the bad apples. Let me get rid of them. Just make it say, yo, we ain't having y'all. We don't want y'all part of this union, but they just can't do it.
Well, you got to understand something, that a lot of police unions, I mean, they got millions of dollars as a result from union dues. So if the union denounces like certain behavior from the officers, they will lose the rest of the members, because they feel that you got to defend us no matter what. We pay you dues every month. And that's what it comes down to. D, you know this. I always tell you, everything comes down to dollars and cents. Yep. It always comes down to dollars and cents.
Yeah,
sad. Definitely.
Well, speaking of more dollars and cents, the judge issues an order of arrest for ex-NFL player running back Clinton Portis due to unpaid child support. Man, if them motherfuckers, child support should have went after Bin Laden.
They found him.
Way much earlier than that, man. They can find Jimmy Hoffa if he owns child support. Child support play no games, man.
Yeah. What's the thought? Find you.
It just sounds like it sounds like first of all, I think the system is broken. Okay, because child support has been manipulated so much. So that's one of the issues, I think, because I think there's a lot of people that want to care for their children or pay for their children. They feel like they're being either extorted or exploited by one of the other parents in certain cases. With that said, you still have to pay child support. And the problem is, once you're no longer playing your sport, and if you've mismanaged your money, and I don't know if he did or he didn't, but the NFL careers are usually very short. NFL more than any other, there's no other professional sports where the contracts aren't guaranteed. The NFL contracts are not guaranteed outside of your signing bonus. So you don't get much guaranteed money. So I'm assuming maybe Portis, who was a very good player, maybe he just didn't have the money. And once he stopped playing, probably fell short. And my understanding from people I know is whether you are employed or not does not stop your child support responsibility. And so if it doesn't, I mean, they're not playing with that. That's one thing, child support, they do not play, and that they are going to come after you and they are going to get you, and they have all the leverage. So you have to find a way, and you may want to just decide to stay in the relationship, because I mean, child support is no joke. It's nothing to play with.
Yeah. I think this was for a child he had in 2015. So the child is not even that old. But they say Clinton Portis made $43 million over his the life of his career. And part of the reason why they issued an arrest warrant for him is because he didn't show up for court. So you don't play those games. You know what I'm saying?
No.
The other thing is, I think the child support is $1,900 and change a month that he hasn't paid. You know, he's working for the Washington Redskins. I mean, Washington football team.
Football team. I believe.
I'm not sure.
Well, he ain't showing up to work now.
Yeah. The thing is, you know, like these athletes, they have to get a little bit smarter with some of the decisions that they're making. You know, I know they got women being thrown at them on a daily basis, but you got to make some better decisions and with this child support, because how many cases have we talked about or heard about where some of these child support numbers are astronomical? Right. You got people getting $200,000 a month for a baby. Like, what kind of baby is that? Now, I'm not against child support. I paid child support myself at a point. You know what I mean? I have no problems taking care of my kids and being there for them financially and physically. But some of this stuff, they need to put some sort of cap on freaking child support. Because sometimes
that's why I think the system is broken. Now, what I can suggest is this: if you run short and you don't have the money, call your credit card company and just ask them. See, that's what I'm saying. You have to be able to talk.
Call them and
say that online.
And you want to call them and see if you can use your rewards.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. It's a conversation. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Rodney. Thank you.
I know. I got you, Kelvin.
That was
man, I'm gonna tell you though. I think I'm talking. I want to speak on what you said, Rodney. I think you mentioned he owed $1,900 a month.
Yeah, I think he hasn't paid any.
That seems doable, man. You know what I mean?
It's regular guys paying that.
Yeah, it's regular
guys. I was paying more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems very doable, man, on that kind of salary. So I'm very interested to see what kind of someone mentioned that he had financial problems.
Yeah, he did file for that. That's true. He filed for bankruptcy. I don't know what year he filed for bankruptcy.
So maybe that accounts for why he has such a low number in relation to how much he should have been worth, or
Yeah,
but you know, he played $43 million. Yeah, $43 million in a career, like. And for you to file bankruptcy, I think he was retired maybe 4 or 5 years after he retired, he filed bankruptcy. Yeah. This is clearly a case of mismanaging money.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Oh yeah.
So they think it's gonna last forever, and they think they're always gonna get it. And like, and what are you setting yourself up? Like, I tell you, one person had the best career set up after this, fucking Michael Strahan, bro. That motherfucker there went from he still kept getting checks. These guys don't get checks. Only thing they had was running the ball, and after that, they not camera ready and all this other stuff. And
no, you're right. Michael
might be making more money in retirement than he made.
He probably is.
In the football salary,
able to create himself and make himself a brand. That's what Michael Strahan did, and he went through a nasty divorce and had to cough up a lot of bread.
He did.
Man, the ugly ass white woman. But yeah, she was ugly and Putin in church, boy. I mean, if you're gonna get a white one, get a fine ass one. Don't get that one was. That was not a good look for him, bro.
She tried to insinuate he was gay when they were breaking up. Remember that? Talking about his lifestyle and all this other stuff, man.
I don't care, but still, he got a prettier man if he was gay. That was an ugly ass woman, man.
Yeah, right. No wonder she probably.
He probably woke up one day.
Better looking dudes out there.
He woke up like, damn, did I tackle her last night? Damn. I'm gonna the fuck out of this marriage, goddamn it.
You're nut.
Serious, man. That was an ugly ass woman, brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Speaking of Rachel Nichols ain't that bad. ESPN Rachel Nichols of NBA coverage has canceled her show. ESPN has canceled her show. Rachel Nichols. I mean, I know she got backlash of what she said about the sister that was caught on the phone or whatever. So, gentlemen, what's your thoughts?
I think at the end of the day, she couldn't pull out of this. I mean, it was just, ESPN has been under the gun lately, and I think that was the catalyst. But if you remember, what she was caught saying was ESPN a horrible job regarding diversity. And when you publicly disparage the people who write your check, it's not going to end good. And I think that's what happened. And I think what happened was overplayed it, and that's funny.
Jimmy listen, Jimmy Butler told me that.
Was that a rumor, or was that a rumor, or that was real?
That was real.
That was real.
Yeah, okay.
Listen, there's another job I have. There's a lot of stuff like that go down allegedly with a lot. Yeah. You'd be surprised who people are sleeping with in the sports players are sleeping with.
I'm sure.
Very surprised.
I'm definitely sure.
Yeah, but
Jimmy still got his job.
Yep.
Who?
He said Jimmy still got his job.
Yeah. The thing was ESPN is losing money, so maybe it was happy they got a good reason to cut that down because they paying Stephen A. Smith the cash cow, right? So then everybody else now we're getting a whole bunch of new people you start to see on ESPN. Maybe it was a reason to cut because they say, hey, we can save some money somewhere.
But you know what the problem is with ESPN with them? Back in the day when you got cable, it was really part of the pitch. It's not anymore. That's the reality. ESPN, that's separate now. It's not, you know what I mean? And so streaming and online, that just changed the dynamic. At one point, ESPN just had everything on Smash.
Right.
And now they just really don't anymore. You know what I mean? They're not going anywhere, but they're not the only game in town anymore.
Yeah. Kelvin, me and Kelvin had this conversation about ESPN. They're not going nowhere. They're about to be the news broadcasters for sports gambling. You're going to see a big change. Disney owns ESPN. They ain't going nowhere. They're not going nowhere.
Well, we ain't saying they're going nowhere, but people.
No, I'm not saying you're saying that. We're just saying that they're here to stay.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to start to see some changes with ESPN real soon.
Yeah. So,
but their personalities online are not invincible anymore. That's what I think your point, right, D? That outside of Stephen A. Smith, everybody's interchangeable now.
Yeah, and that's part of the change I'm talking about. They're getting ready to clean a little bit of house because you got to realize when they start to do revamping, you got to see some people under certain contracts that they might feel are making too much money.
Yeah,
right.
So they might have to just start chopping some wood.
Speaking of money, somebody stealing money. Jake Paul, the Great White Hope, is out here again. Destroying boxing for me, a boxing fan, that is internet sensation, has beat another brother ass. I think these brothers are really getting paid to lose to this motherfucker.
No, they just not boxers, man. He's not boxing any boxers, and he's 40 pounds and
Colt Jam, what up?
5 inches. Yeah, there you go. Kobe. He's 40 pounds and at least 5 inches taller than everybody, and 40 pounds heavier and bigger than everybody he's fighting, and he's fighting non-boxers. So
listen, I watched some of the fight. The brother had him dazed. It seemed like the brother was waiting to punch him. They're looking at him. Like, come on, man. Like, brother, knock this motherfucker out. You talking all that shit in the pre-shit and didn't do nothing. I'm like, this I can't. Boxing's over for me, man. I'm serious. If they don't get no real.
That's not boxing. That's not even boxing. I didn't even watch it. I didn't watch it because that's not boxing.
You said it on this show. Am I right, my brothers?
Hold on a minute. I was talking about the Floyd fight in that because I felt like that was good for boxing. You know what I mean? Because I like Floyd. I do, because I think he's been good for boxing. It's time for boxers. I felt like these are the athletes. We don't come to watch the promoters fight. We come to watch the boxers, the fighters fight. They should get the bulk of the money. All right. They should have agency over their own careers. And any way that happens, I think is a good idea. Certain fights are just suck ass fights. You know what I mean?
But
you're gonna have some.
Derik, to be fair, everybody said it was a circus show except you. You thought it had credibility.
No, I always no.
When it came to
that's what it was. An exhibition.
Derik said the polls were bad for boxing, and you disagreed.
No, listen. Just because it's an exhibition or a circus show doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad for boxing.
But
right?
You know what I mean? It is bad for boxing.
But this right here, I don't think that was. I think this was. This ain't the greatest piece of boxing, but I don't really consider it boxing. I don't consider it
whether it's Paul or whether it's Logan, it's still bad for boxing. The bottom line is.
That's like saying a street fight is bad for boxing, bro. To me, that's like you can promote a street fight. I don't think it's more bad for boxing than
measured. If it's in a boxing ring, if it's sanctioned, it's going to be considered boxing. I mean, it wasn't on a football field, Derek. I mean,
they had on gloves. They went in a ring. It was on pay-per-view. They had a referee. It was boxing.
Listen, tune into a real boxing match, man. To the average, they're gonna see people punching each other in the face like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Yeah, that's boxing to them. But to me, it's not boxing. That's not boxing.
Here's how you know that boxing is in trouble, right? Boxing has allowed 2 YouTubers to control boxing. They have come off YouTube, decided to be boxers, and they're putting asses in seats, right? Now, boxing's in trouble. That's why Mayweather's able to come back, demand $100,000 fighting MMA fighters and YouTubers.
Boxing's not in trouble.
Okay. Wait, let me finish, Derek. It is in trouble. The other thing is now we got De La Hoya seeing the opportunity. He's getting ready to have a boxing fight with another MMA guy. All right. Now, as far as the fight with Tyron Woodley and Paul, the thing is, he deserved to lose that fight, in my opinion. Like, I know Tyron Woodley from MMA. He deserved to lose that fight. He should have known if that fight was going to go to the distance, he was going to lose that fight. The guy owned the whole place. It's his production. He's putting on his own production. He's the one that's writing checks. How is a boxer doing that? That's horrible for boxing. So that means he can dictate whether he wins or loses.
How well did the pay-per-view do?
And this is my point. This is a guy that's a YouTuber just waking up and turning into a boxer.
What's changing? What's changing is the way they promote. All right. So if the really good boxers would find a way, and the really good promoters specifically, if the really good promoters would turn around and actually promote the fighters instead of trying to fix fights all the damn time, maybe you would get something like this. The Bob Arums, the top ranks of the world, and the Matchrooms of the world, they need to start paying attention to how they are promoted.
But boxing,
at the end of the day, if you want to call it,
always been corrupt.
Yeah, of course, it has.
And it's still going to be.
But here's the thing. You have, because you don't have any. It's not like UFC where you have one promoter, all right, or one promotion company, and everything in the entire sport is an in-house fight. All right. Every single UFC fight is an in-house fight. All right. But in boxing, you have different houses. You have Top Rank. You have Main Event. You have Matchroom. All right. All of those would be, if one of those would come to dominance, and that would be like the UFC for boxing. But instead of one, you have several, and they're all constantly vying for promotional time. And what they need to do between all of them is they need to pay attention to what's going on, all right? And Triller just jumped in, right? And see what's going on, because the paradigm is being shifted. There's going to be more and more agency given to the boxers, all right? They're able to become their own promoters now, because now you got PBC with Al Heyman coming in. He's letting everyone become their own promoter. So it's different now. It's just different. So instead of there being one boxing outlet like the UFC, you have several. So they need to start paying attention and find different ways to promote the sport itself. The sport's doing fine. One big boxing match, an average boxing card is usually bigger than one of the really big UFC cards. All right, it just grosses more money. It makes more pay-per-view. So boxing is doing fine.
To Rodney's point, if the biggest draw in your sport is not a great boxer, then your sport is in trouble.
Derik can't name 2 legitimate boxers that could pack a place and demand as much pay-per-view as 2 people that are non-boxers. He can't do it. I guarantee you can't do it.
Manny Pacquiao is 100 years old. He can still do it.
And they still don't do a biggest draw as the Pauls do.
Yeah, he's right. Ronnie's right.
They don't.
Ronnie's right on
listen,
that.
We just had we had Mike Tyson
2 boxers that can put asses in the seat like these Pauls.
Mike Tyson and Roy Jones just fought, and they old.
But that wasn't those numbers weren't huge.
Exhibition.
Listen,
like we said,
that was the over 50 clip.
It's promotion.
But also, to Rodney's point is, you got to go back to the classic boxers to get people to watch. Like the average person. Let's look for example. You got Shauna, you got Lisa on here, you got your wife. They're not gonna watch these new motherfuckers because the boxing don't promote them very well.
They already, if they already had, listen,
They're not as
they already
exciting
had the
either.
name built up. What they did with Triller was different from anything else. They putting in music, acts, and everything. Come on, that was a great thing. So you can't tell me you can't take that same formula and add Canelo Alvarez on there and Errol Spence on there, get the same thing. Come on, you can do it, and it's going to get done. The only thing standing in the way is Canelo Alvarez is with one promotion and Errol Spence is with another promotion. That's the difference, bro. And they can't get them in the ring together because of greed. That's the real problem.
Look at some of the comments. Like Brad had a good comment here. I want to go back so we don't miss those. I know he's getting passionate about this.
Floyd created a model where the best fighters can avoid tough fights and still make money. You know what? He didn't invent that model. The promoters were doing that long before. The only difference was he became a promoter. That's the only difference.
Right there, that one too, Derek.
Yeah, vast majority of UFC
All right,
fighters.
so Derek, let's end the speculation. Derek, let's end the speculation. Are the polls good or bad for boxing?
They're nothing for boxing. They're great for promotion. They're great for promotion, and it depends on what boxing takes from the Paul brothers. That will determine.
Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example how dominating they are. If Earl Paul walked into my house right now, Masali, my mother, nobody, Little D wouldn't even know who the fuck he was. I'll probably shoot him.
Earl Paul.
Who's that?
I mean, the boxer. What's it? Earl
Spence.
Errol Spence. I'm saying Errol Spence. Sorry,
Okay.
Errol Spence.
Yeah.
They wouldn't know. The white guy, they know. That's how bad I'm saying these white guys will right to Rodney's point. They've taken over boxing. Boxing will go nowhere for the boxing.
Internet. Listen, they are named their internet stars before they got their name off the internet. They are YouTube stars. They're the two of the top 5 biggest YouTube personalities in the world. Right? That's what they're, and then they just so happen to be athletes, and the sport that they decided to get into was boxing. If they were in croquet would blast off. All right? If they were doing tiddlywinks would blast off. Right? They just chose to do boxing.
You know why they took off? Because they would never succeeded in basketball. They would never succeeded in football because boxing has no stars. That's why they took advantage of a place with it.
They're not fighting boxers.
Derek, let me finish my point. Let me finish my point. You are avid hardcore boxing fan. To the average person knew who Mike Tyson was. The average person knew who Sugar Ray Leonard was. The average person knew who Roy Jones was. Boxing is suffering because they have no stars in boxing. The white boys took advantage of white men always do. They see a chance where they can make some money. White boys can't walk on the court against LeBron James. Nobody ever fuck with them white boys doing that. They can't do that shit in baseball. They can do that shit in any other sport, but boxing, because boxing is very weak right now with its talent.
Well, then what is UFC then if that's the case? Because boxing is outgrossing UFC, man. And listen, when they make, if you can put UFC against boxing,
but UFC
numbers don't lie.
But UFC, the average person on UFC fight, I don't watch. I'm a big sports. I don't watch UFC. But I'm just saying, but boxing, who's been around longer than you, UFC is a baby. If you look at the scheme of sports, we look at the time of sports. UFC's only been around for a little while.
UFC
been around for decades, and now it's just dwindling out. You don't even see it. You don't care no more.
Yeah. The thing is too, like you get a guy that can basically set up a fight, handpick his opponents, make millions of dollars, tell the opponent what he's going to pay him, and basically do the show, and then you don't say that's not bad for boxing. That's horrible.
No, that's terrible. No, that's horrible for boxing.
And now the thing is too, this is how you know it's here to stay too, Derek. When you watch, I saw on YouTube, because I would never order something like that. I saw on YouTube how many celebrities are coming to this fight, how many people are there. The place is packed to the gills. Right. This is something back in the day when Mike Tyson was fighting or whatever. This would have never happened. Boxing got slow. So certain people seized opportunities and said, listen, boxing is suffering, and we're not fighting for a belt. We're just fighting for money, and we're going to put some asses in seats. We're going to make millions of dollars, and we're going to be out.
So listen, what I think where we're differing in opinion is the assignment of blame. All right. So I'm talking more along the lines of the promoters, right, who are causing all of the discontent, the confusion, as well as the belt agencies. You got WBA, the WBC, the IBF, and the WBO. So just in one division, you've got 4 main belts. And then within each belt, in the case of, let's say, the WBA, they got the WBA Super, then the interim, then the regular. You know what I mean? And it's also, no one knows who the champion is. because they're getting all they're getting all these sanctioning fees to each organization. They recently just had some legislation was passed where they well, I shouldn't say call it legislation. It was a boxing commission that is over all the other boxing commissions that started to approach WBA and said, listen, you've got to get rid of all of these belts. All right, and that's going to be a huge game changer.
We'll get back on another time for boxing. I want to
Okay.
make sure because we cut into our time with some of our stuff on our show. So I do want to make a quick honorable mention, not honorable mention, but a mention that Candyman was the highest grossing projected film for a black woman. It's a black woman has a black woman to direct it. It's the number one film for a black female director. We just want to shout out to Candyman.
Very nice. Very nice.
I'm still not gonna say that shit in the mirror. I'm not fucking with no Candyman. I ain't got no projects in me. I'm scared to death of that motherfucker, man.
All I gotta say is that's one dude. You better keep his name out your mouth.
Oh man, real quick, yo. Let's just jump into this Little Nas X. Little Nas X calls out fans for not criticizing Tony Hawk's blood aboard shoes. So Little Nas X is back on there, man.
You know what? I had vowed before this show to never discuss Lil Nas X in my life, and it keeps coming. It just keeps coming. I think I'm gonna pass to someone else.
Now, Safari gave, I think, his criticism on why Little Nas X, what he thought, right? So,
well, let's explain the whole thing. Basically, Little Nas X got criticized for putting blood on some sneakers from Nike. And then now,
a few months ago. It was more than that. It was Satan's sneakers. He was worshiping the devil through the sneakers.
He called the blood. Yeah, he called the sneakers Satan. He had his blood in it. It was 666, correct, or whatever. Yeah. And now Tony Hawk. And for all the people that don't know who Tony Hawk is a very famous skateboarder. He now has come out with a board with blood on it. Now, Safari has basically chimed in and said, well, the reason that people had a problem with Nas X doing the thing was because he was worshiping Satan and that Tony Hawk is not. Now, here's my opinion. My opinion is Tony Hawk is white and you're black. There's certain shit that you can't do and get away with it. So now you want to be out there worshiping the devil as a black man, putting blood on sneakers and think that it's going to be okay. You know, Tony Hawk can come out with dog shit on a skateboard. It's going to still sell. And ain't nobody going to say nothing.
Yeah. No, definitely. We would definitely listen, the barbecue has been you have been disinvited. You know, don't come around. You're that little weird cousin that nobody likes to talk to, or invite. You find out late about everything. You know what I mean? After it's already done because nobody tells you about anything. And when you show up, you're like, oh, this. You know what I mean? So he's that guy. Listen, he's doing too much. All right, he's just doing too much. And you're right, Rodney. That was that was 90% of it too. Listen, that's okay. Let them do what they're going to do. But this is the community. You know what we roll. You know what we're about, and we're not having it, man. So you can go ahead and do what you want to do, but you're gonna have to do it over there. And he got his little feelings because really what he is, he's throwing a tantrum. If you ask me, he's looking for attention. And he does whatever he can to get it. He's like a little child. So you know what? Go ahead, little man. Call him. So.
You call him little man, guys.
Call him little man.
Yeah,
Anyway, yo,
it is what it is.
Listen, man, we got it's a Cooler Now. Remember the 1984 Cooler Now by New Edition, man. This guy at Preem's Hood Video Cinema is one of Jamie's friends, man. Jamie, play the video for this brother, man. This is kind of funny, man. Let's have some jokes real quick.
Give the brother some love.
No video, Jamie. On the goddamn reading the script. Horrible ass for this video, man. No video.
Okay.
So anyway, well, it's kind of hard to explain without the video. But go ahead, Ronnie. About to say something?
Well, no, I was just going to say that I thought the video was hilarious. Basically, what he did was he took an old New Edition video, and he basically made fun of all the members of New Edition. It was pretty hilarious. He cracked on their hairdos, cracked on their singing, their clothes. And if you can find it, maybe we could put the page up. Maybe people can go on the page and actually see the video. I thought the video was hilarious.
Yeah, very, very funny. I have to admit, it is funny. Very, very cool spoof.
Yeah. He has a ton of videos. He does a whole bunch of videos to check it out, man. We'd like to support the brother and his content. He blew up over the pandemic in 2020. People started really tuning into him. He grabbed a huge following over the last year. So shout out to the brother. We gotta support each other. We need laughter right now. This guy's page is the page to go to. Jamie, if you can't put it up on the scroll when you get a chance, that'd be nice to see. So, but anyhow, speaking of celebrities and stuff like that from New Edition and back in the day, people.
Yo, Derek, I hate to wait. Let me cut this off. I just got word that basically where we live, Derek, there's going to be a tornado.
It's coming through this room.
It's coming through. I don't know if you're getting the news over there.
It said from Franklin Square all the way through.
That's from my other producer, Big Sam, in the background, giving us weather report in the background.
Hey man, the show must go on, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm by the water. I hope we don't catch it too far over here by the docks.
Yeah, they said it's supposed to hit like in probably about another 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So real quick, Jamie just notified us that he will show the video at the end of the towards the end of the show. Real quick, but I'm going to jump into this real fast. Celebrities that we need to leave the stage. We don't need to see them anymore. Jamie, do you have a video for this one? Uh-oh. Let me get technical. Did Jamie run to a tornado out there? No video for this one? But people don't know that used to be Little Kim. Now that's like the Asian woman that just ate too many of them chicken wings and French fries.
All right, you know what? I'm being honest with you. I
definitely too many rib tips.
I don't know what to do with that, man. That's wow.
I thought about this, and since we're not a mean-spirited show, and honestly, a lot of these entertainers, they are real people and things like that, and we don't, bring up stuff to be, mean to people. But I think there's a time, especially there's a double standard when it comes to women in particular, that when you base your whole thing on sexuality, and then there's a time when it comes to an end. I saw it happen with Madonna when she kissed Drake on stage, and he looked like he wanted to throw up. You know what I mean? There was a time when Richard Pryor was on stage when he's in a wheelchair and he had already been sick. I think that there comes a time when you just may not need to be in the public eye performing anymore. And Little Kim, 20 plus years ago was considered a sex symbol, and people thought she was very, very attractive and very cute and everything like that. And now she's on the stage at this stage in her life. And to me, it just looked embarrassing. It just really did. I mean, and that's not to take anything away from her as a rapper, but as a performer, I thought it really looked bad, and I thought it looked embarrassing. And people are avid fans and they're going to support. But I think there comes a time when somebody should be honest enough to say, you're just a shell of yourself as far as performing is concerned. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah. Wow.
It's like, I seen Little Kim perform when she was young. I just wish somebody would have told her she was a beautiful person back in the day. Like, I mean, women gain weight and we all gain weight. I ain't the same sex symbol I used to be when I was 21, but it's like, damn, the face, like, why did I was asking Rod, I think on Monday, like, can he put her old nose back, the little button nose she had? Can we get that back? She got real light skin on us. I'm like, damn.
I thought she was cute, man. Back in the days, man. Yeah. It's just, but listen, I think she didn't believe it. Obviously, she always probably struggled with, ideas of, self-esteem or whatever. And, it kind of shows now, I think, but, I think she's still a talented young lady. So not young anymore, but she's a talented lady. And vivacious, and more power to her, but somebody need to talk to her, get off that stage a little bit.
When it comes to beauty, you have to know you're beautiful yourself.
Yeah.
Some, no matter how many times people tell you that you're beautiful, you have something you have to believe within yourself.
Yeah.
But I kind of think that people continue to see Little Kim do this. It's going to be like a lot of internet jokes on Little Kim. That's what I see.
Yeah. Little Kim's good.
But
somebody says drunk ass on TV.
that looked bad. I mean, there's no other way.
Really bad.
It looked bad. It looked that didn't look
Lil' Kim still has it.
I don't know what it is.
No,
probably as an artist.
Don't do the seed, K, don't do it like that. I know you want to support. I know you used to work with Def Jam. I know who you are, K. But
you know this person. Okay, shout out.
Karen, you know you wrong. You know, I know you love the '90s like I do, but no, our time is past.
Word up.
See, hey man, more power to. I hope you keep performing and enjoying life.
You know, it's like sometimes when people don't accept that they're getting older, what it does is
maybe as a lyricist, L's time is up, K. But he hit the gym though, and Kim looked like the gym hit her.
Yeah.
Yo, she's right. Tim is right about the Source Awards. But no, LL Cool J, I think. Listen, long as the throwback chicks back there, they're gonna love them some LL Cool J.
Yeah,
he's gonna be like our generation's Denzel, like older women like Denzel, like Denzel. That's how women feel about LL Cool J. You know, he's always gonna be there, licking his lips and shit.
Bro. Good for her though. You know, maybe she does she have an album out or something? She got music coming out or anything like that?
Yeah. Little Kim?
Yeah.
I don't know. People dying for that to have a versus, so they just trying to figure out what you ever do a versus.
But who she would have it with?
Versus.
I don't know. I mean, people trying to say Foxy Brown. Foxy Brown don't have enough hits as Little Kim.
She doesn't have a big enough catalog against Little Kim.
I don't know who.
That would have been her contemporary. I would have always said Foxy Brown was her contemporary, but but you're right. I don't know that Foxy has enough though. Uncle J is single-handedly the reason why guys are in the gym. Yeah, he's holding itself. He's holding it good, man. He looks good, man.
And speaking of hip hop, real quick, they was talking about. They asked Nas the question who could do a versus, and Nas said he don't know if he's gonna be interested in versus. I don't know who could do a versus against Nas.
With Nas, you
have to put 3 rappers in one verse against Nas. Nas' catalog is too big.
Yeah, it's too big.
It's too big. That's like putting Jay-Z with somebody. Who's gonna go get? It's too big.
It would have to be.
I mean, you know what? You can do Jay-Z and Nas. Yeah,
it would have to be.
Allow 20 songs.
Jamie, and people can't see it. Jamie try to say Rakim. Let's
No. I love Rakim. He's still my favorite rapper, but his catalog is not as deep as
he doesn't have a big enough.
That's why I was Rakim.
Jay-Z and Nas. That's the only thing I can think of. Jay-Z and Nas.
It got to be a Titan versus a Titan.
Yeah.
There's no other person that could do it. Yeah. Rakim got maybe 6 songs.
Rakim came along at a time when Rakim he gets credit for busting open the door and allowing Nas to come behind, Jay-Z to come behind. But maybe if he would have came out after them, maybe his catalog. But you know what?
This is how you should do it. This is how you should do it. They only allow you 20 songs, right? They allow you 20 songs. You take 2 artists that have at least 10 albums. You take the 2 best songs from each of those albums, and that's your verses.
I guess Nas and Jay. I don't even know if they can.
I'll be honest with you. If they did a versus, it would be huge.
It would have to be it would have to be Nas and Jay-Z. It would have to be that.
I know my man Tim Rakim cannot. And Tim, you my man at 5,000 grand. There's no way Rakim could hold anything to Nas. He only has 6 joints. Big Daddy Kane, that's that. See,
Rock got more than 6 joints now. Rock got more than that.
I mean, 10?
He doesn't have a big enough.
He doesn't have a catalog.
It's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant how many. We could count them all. Watch that here and count them all. I can count them all. They're all bangers.
Nas' first album takes out 90% of the MCs.
Mm-hmm. It's a classic. It's a classic.
Now we ain't even going to 2.
Don't take out Rakim, but he's got quality. He's got quantity over Rob, man. He's like, you know what I mean? To me, that's Rakim can't do a versus with Nas because Nas can just keep going. He just had more. I'll go with the catalog.
One thing with Rakim might not even show up.
Huh?
Rakim don't show up.
Don't worry, Lauryn Hill will step in for him.
Yo, listen, you gotta listen to Lauryn. You gotta listen to Lauryn Hill's joint with Nas, a new joint. She talks about.
Yeah, it's true. It's the truth.
That album is dope, man. Nas came back again, like, man.
Listen, you cannot deny Nas. I'm not, I'm just not gonna let y'all slide past Rakim that.
All right, so this is what we gotta do.
Rakim is on my top 5. I'm telling everybody.
Obviously, we're running into the next show, so this gotta come back.
We gotta come back. We can do it again, man. But Nas, Rakim never made my top 5 at any time.
He's in my top 10. He's not in the top 5.
I got to see y'all top 5.
Okay, we'll do a show. We'll do a show on it one day.
We'll do a show on it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Nah, it's Q Bell Rep It Thorough, baby, all day. So listen. Great show tonight. Go ahead. Oh,
no, I just want to say you have to. I know where Derik is coming from. You got to give Rakim credit
no doubt.
because he absolutely changed the game. You couldn't. You couldn't come out with simple rap after him.
After him, he changed it over.
The way rap was.
He's your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Ask Nas who his favorite rapper is. He's gonna tell you Rakim.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. Rakim is always gonna be. He's the God MC. However,
listen,
can't hold the verses against no Nas.
No, he just doesn't have the catalog. He didn't have the quantity, man. That's the only reason I'm saying he doesn't have the quantity. Nas took it, and Nas is from the generation with him and Jay-Z and even Big and Tupac opened it up for them too. That there was just that vacuum, and him and Jay-Z just filled it, and they just ran with it, and so you can't. No one, if you're talking that, they just.
Well, Rakim brought the whole street sexy shit to hip hop. He had the dudes with the chains. He had the Gucci suit. They had all that stuff. That's what Nas. Rakim brought all of that. That's why Rakim will always be. You got
drug dealer rap.
Yeah, you gotta give homage to him on that. Making this, he really showed that street element into hip hop, no doubt. But when it come to me with the top 5 and verses, nah. Rakim, like Big Daddy Kane said it best. He said he was never scared of Rakim in a battle ever. He said, "KRS One."
Rakim's not a battle rapper.
Yeah,
he's a lyricist.
He's a lyricist. Dope.
He's not a battle rapper.
Listen, I want you guys to be safe, man. I want to make sure you'll take care of your family because we're running kind of late. Be safe out there. My brother's out there in Long Island. I'm not too far. Me and Kelvin are not too far from you. Kelvin I know he wishes a tornado come and rip some of the firecrackers and some of his neighbors. If it can only hit certain households on his block, you'd love to see that.
Send it this way after y'all finish with it.
Anyway, man, people, thanks for chopping up with us again. Please follow, like, and subscribe us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Ring that bell, subscribe so you know when we're coming on. We love y'all. Peace, and peace.